All right, we are live. Technical difficulties, but we're in action right now. We are in quarterfinal number 3 heads-up matches. Eddie Fernandez went up against George Nagy. Eddie wins the set at 354. Rob Oristaglio, Troy Cayley. Troy Cayley ends up going 336. Robbo goes OB. And it looks like right now EJ McDonald is going to beat Dave Mobley, the 3-time world champ in the Open, Masters, Super Senior Division. Mobley looked good, hit 4 out of 6 balls in play. And I said Mobley's got wins all over the world as well. We talked about Maurice Allen winning all over the world, and Mobley's got championships upon championships upon championships in all different divisions and different organizations as well. But we're live in Memphis, Tennessee. This is the senior division quarterfinals. Eddie Fernandez has advanced. He's going to go up against Troy Cayley on the top half of the semifinal. EJ McDonald just beat Dave Mobley. And now we got Jeff Farley against Jeff Gavin, the man who drinks from the fountain of youth. It's warm today. I'm from South Florida, so I'm accustomed to this type of weather. But it's humid. A lot of the guys in between sets were sitting in their car just cranking up the AC. Eddie Fernandez is battling a stomach bug. Might have got some food poisoning last night. So he looked a little lethargic, but you know what? Eddie's really fast and ended up having the longest drive in the round-robin format at 373 yards. So right now we got Jeff Farley against Jeff Gavin. Gavin, 2-time world champ in the senior division. Gavin ended up winning event number 1 in Mesquite. So he's going to go up against Farley here. Farley with a bullet down the right side. 192-mile-per-hour rocket. 333 from Jeff Farley. He's got a number on the board. We're at Wynwood Turf Farms here in Memphis, Tennessee. This is the first time we have hit on this grid, and it is beautiful. It's all beautiful grass and an amphitheater of trees. We've had great weather. Gavin with a ball down the middle, 200-mile-per-hour ball. He's at 344. So guys that have been in this sport, I mean, combined, they got to have well over 40 years. Gavin's been in it for over 20, and so has Farley. Farley's made Final 8s in the Open Division at the World Championships. I like this ball flight from Farley down that right side. But look at Gavin's ball speed, 205. So this is going to be, could this be a ball speed war here where Gavin might be a little bit quicker? And we saw that on the last heads-up match against EJ McDonald and Mobley. Mobley hit 4 out of 6 balls in play, but EJ McDonald just a little bit faster, and he kind of rode that win too, a little bit of a cut. EJ did, and just got Mobley just by a couple yards. But it's always fun to watch Dave Mobley hit golf balls. And I said, one of the best to ever do it. Look at Farley with that cut down that right side. He's got Gavin by a yard right now. Farley made a semifinal in his last tournament that he entered in Mesquite, or Denver. And if I do recall, I think Mobley went up against Eddie in the finals. So 2 veterans of the sport getting after it. Gavin looks like he's going to go OB left. We're going to measure these. If they're within 6 inches, they'll go into another playoff. But right now, on paper, it looks like Jeff Farley is in the lead at 345, and Gavin's at 344. For those tuning in right now, this is the senior quarterfinal. This is the last match. If Farley does beat Jeff Gavin here, it's going to be Eddie Fernandez against Troy Cayley, EJ McDonald against Jeff Farley. Waiting on Farley's 345-yard drive. Let's see if it is past 6 inches. If it's 6 inches or less, they will go into a playoff. Someone's going to win this trophy right here in about 10 minutes. Wow. Farley's going to take it down at 345. So to give a recap, yesterday, the Open Division hitters, 64 guys hit. They're down to 32. Familiar faces in familiar places, and it's the same in the senior division. But, Martin Borgmeyer, Kyle Berkshire, Justin James, They looked awesome yesterday. They're going to be hitting here in a little bit. And they're going to do the same format as we did in Denver. 32 guys are going to hit. They're going to have 2 brackets of 16 hitters. They're going to get down to 16, and there's going to be heads-up matches from 16 down to 1. And, Zach Holton ended up winning in Denver, and he looked awesome yesterday too, just picking up where he left off in Denver. And Zach Holton ended up winning his bracket of hitters as well in his round of 16. But Eddie Fernandez is going to go up against Troy Cayley. We saw just got a text from Kevin Shook. 14 years ago today, him and I matched up in the Texas two-step, and we were hitting into a headwind, and I'll never forget the first call out was 327 yards from Shook, and at that time, that might as well have been 480 yards. Hit a bomb, and I think I hit the hardest golf ball in my life. Went 309, but Shooky, got me that day in Texas. But Kevin Shook will be making his debut here soon. He turns 45, and we got a couple guys that are going to be coming in here. We got Reese back, we got Mike Dobbin, we got Kevin Shook, guys that have made Final Eights, guys that have won World Championships. So this senior division is going to be packed here, especially during the World Championships. But right now, Eddie Fernandez is the guy to beat. He's won 2 of the 3 events that he's entered this year in the senior division, and a guy that can compete in the open division as well, and put himself in position to win an open division championship. So he's going to double dip here in Atlanta. He qualified out in Mesquite in the open division. We were watching Eddie right now, but Eddie's battling a little bit of a stomach bug. He said that he woke up at 2:30 and was feeling nauseous, but here he is in semifinal number 1 going up against Troy Cayley. Edward, Michael, Joseph, William, Bartholomew, Aranches, Sanchez, Vicario, Conchita, Martinez, Hernandez, Fernandez, 12 balls away from winning his 3rd title. But he's going to go up against Troy, who had a bunch of wins in the PLDA in the senior division in 2021. So he's no stranger to winning events as well. So Eddie looks like a nice smoothie down that right side. His ball's perfect. 207, 114. The ground is hard. They were getting some good rollout yesterday. But Troy Cayley with a nice ball at 346, but Eddie with a smoothie at 357. That's a really, really good ball to start. And, if Eddie stays within himself right here, he's got plenty of ball speed to win this. And that's a good poke right there. Troy Cayley's won against Robbo Estaglio with a 336 ball. Robbo ended up going OB. Robbo had kind of the same issues I had. Not going to mention the airline, but I didn't get to Memphis on that airline. Rob did, but they left his bag. So Eddie Fernandez was kind enough to lend his clubs to Robbo, but Robbo with a win and a couple second places and made another Final Eight. But Eddie's a good guy. Let Robbo hit, but Robbo went OB against Troy Cayley. So right now, Eddie Fernandez, 356 in the lead by 10 yards. Taking a peek at Troy Cayley right now. This one, just based off of the way he is looking, this one looks like it's going to be OB right. Flight scope technology in all the slots today, giving you as much data as you can. Eddie Fernandez with a little sweeper. I don't know if this one's going to stay in play or not. This looks like it does. 212, riding the wind, 30-yard left to right. That's going to be a good ball. I mean, Eddie went 373. Not sure if that's going to go 373 or not, but I got a feeling that one's going to be a little bit more, maybe 360-ish. We'll take a peek. 365. Eddie Fernandez takes a very, very, very comfortable lead right now. So I think that's going to be good enough to take it down against Troy Cayley. So Troy Cayley down to his last ball has got to go 366. Now Gavin's longest drive before the last set I know was 357, so this one's going to be tough to catch. And we've said it before. The only guy that can beat Eddie Fernandez currently where he's at is Eddie Fernandez, with OB sets or off-center strikes and, guys hitting their best golf balls. So, but, I mean, he smoothed that one at 212. Eddie Fernandez is going to be in the finals. He's going to go up against E.J. McDonald or Jeff Farley, a final that we saw last tournament in Denver. Look at Edward, looking strong. I know he's not feeling his best, but you know what? Eddie Fernandez at 85% is still really, really, really good. He's going to take it down at 365. Edward Michael Joseph, William Bartholomew, Ranches Sanchez Vicario, Conchita Martinez, Hernandez Fernandez is going to be in your final for the 4th tournament in a row. EJ McDonald, Jeff Farley, going to be the 2nd semifinal match. It's a warm one in Memphis. It feels good, though, being a South Florida boy. I love the humidity. Going to go to YouTube here if you guys are just tuning in. Let's take a peek at all the comments. Let's take a peek-ski. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, and good night if you're tuning in from all over the world. Memphis, Tennessee. I had all the notes to talk about Memphis. It was founded in 1475 by Christopher Columbus, even though he came over here. What year did Christopher Columbus come here? I don't even know. But I'm definitely not delirious today. I got 9 hours and 35 minutes of sleep thanks to this thing on my wrist. They need to sponsor me, or they need to sponsor World Lawn Drive. Come be the title sponsor for $800 million. So Kaylee beat Robbo by, or it was 336. DJ Allison is in the house. Ken Long Drive, hello. But right now, EJ McDonald, Jeff Farley. I like this sweep and cut right now from EJ McDonald. Took up a little bit too much real estate there, but Farley's a guy that's just going to be pounding balls and play. Just going to put a lot of pressure. 342, it's a good number to start with. EJ McDonald won at 343. Last one, all right, 195. Little bit of a off-center strike from EJ McDonald. Do like the profile of that shot. That one's fighting down the left side. That's kind of the profile we saw with Zach Holton to win his championship in Denver. So let's see if that ball from EJ McDonald is going to go a little bit farther. Granted, he's going to fight a little bit of a crosswind. It's left to right now. So the ball that Eddie hit that slid down that right side, he just started it down the middle with a little bit of a cut, rolled out to 365. Is kind of the profile. So this definitely benefits a guy that can go a little left to right now. We saw that slot number 1 yesterday in the open division was the slot that had the most amount of wins. Sam Judah, good morning, buddy. Roll Tide. EJ McDonald, that little slider down that left side takes the lead by 2. He's up against Farley. Farley just hit a draw. So fighting that crosswind now. So, yeah, definitely benefits a little left to right. Farley with a 335. He's got 2 balls to go. He's going to have to make that adjustment. There we go. Let's take a peek there. That one's going to go OB left on Farley's 5th ball. But, yeah, you're definitely better off watching from with air conditioning. But we saw all the guys. I showed up here about an hour early, and you got all the guys that hit in the 8 o'clock division just practically sleeping in their cars with their AC cranked up. So I hung in Eddie's and Rob Bo's car for a minute and talking. I like this ball from Farley. Let's look at the ball speed numbers. Is this one going to stay in play? It's 191, a little bit of a miss hit. Not sure if that's gonna get the job done here. Spun it at 2,200. I mean, the numbers are okay. Farley's looking back. He doesn't look too pleased with his number because, he's a guy that can hit 200 ball speed if he hits a center punch golf ball. Is Farley going to make his 2nd consecutive final, or is EJ McDonald going to take it down? EJ McDonald's going to take it down by 2 yards, 344 to 342. We've had some close matchups here. Farley and Gavin were by 1, and now Farley ends up taking a loss here by a couple yards. But if you're watching open division right now, it looks like that little slider left to right is the play. And we were seeing lower ball flights yesterday from all the guys. That high ball didn't work out very well. This ground is giving you some nice run out. So. Say 150, 160, 170 feet, even lower. I mean, we were seeing guys hit 95, 100 feet balls that were running a ton yesterday. Saw a couple balls from Jacob Galladay that on Flight Scope said that were landing about 315, 320 that were rolling out the 360. So that's a good thing here. It does benefit guys that can get the ball on the ground, have good landing angles. But right now, Eddie Fernandez is going to go up against EJ McDonald, 2 Florida boys here. EJ's out in Naples. Eddie is in Orlando, Winter Garden. So the 2-time senior world champion going up against EJ, who's always in and around Final 8s. I think I've never not seen EJ make a Final 8 in a long time. So really, really good hitters, guys that hit Beautiful ball flights left to right. But really, truly, at the end of the day, Eddie's in a battle against himself. So, and that's, sometimes that's the hardest thing. It's just, for these guys that are this fast and this talented, and it happens in the open division as well, the first couple balls are critical. If they can just stay within themselves and hit that first ball or two in play, when we're talking about the fastest guys in the world, it's amazing to see them settle into the set, and then they start building on it. And, that's something that I'm interested to see today. I mean, we're talking about, Kyle Berkshire, who ended up just cruising through the first 2 round robins in Denver, goes up in a heads-up match, goes OB the first 2 or 3, presses a little bit, and Scott Littlefield put a great number up on the board at 442. So, the pressure mounts in these heads-up matches, and for guys that are significantly quicker, it's a game within a game. Like, they just got to we always said back in the day, hit the balloon. Focus on a target and just hit a golf shot. And sometimes that's harder to do, but as I said, easier said than done. But right now, Eddie just needs to hit the strike zone. Just hit a center punch ball like he did on his last set at 208, and then build on it. And the 208 ball was perfect. And then 212, he stepped up and hit it a little bit farther, about 10 yards farther. But right now, if I'm him, 208 mid ball cut, 355, that should get the job done. But you know what? EJ McDonald puts a 345, 350 ball in the air, what have you. So 146 ready to 11. Art Sellinger's famous line is "Good night, nurse," but that one's going to be tough to catch. It's a bullet right down the middle. I mean, if that's 360, that's going to be at 367. Yeah, Eddie hit 9 balls, I think he said, in the round robin bracket. And like I said, fighting the stomach issue. But there you go. So guys that are watching this in the open division, when you get in these heads-up matches and you know that you're 10, 15, 20 miles per hour faster than the guy you're going up against, Eddie Fernandez is just throwing a strike. And now if he wants to build on it, it's fine. But I think that number is going to be plenty good. So, but E.J. McDonald's a competitor. I know that he's going to hit a ball. He can hit it 120 feet in the air with that little cut. He tighten up his dispersion a little bit left to right. EJ's miss is going to be a lot of movement left to right. So if he can lower that ball flight and maybe, catch a hot spot on the grid, he definitely has a chance to get it in, the 360 range. But, I would say Eddie slammed the door on the first ball. The old walk-off. But for right now, look at this, 216.8. The guy's 52 years old going 216.8. I like this ball flight from E.J. McDonald, how much movement is going to take left to right, like the launch. It's a miss hit, 191.8. So Eddie's 217. He's stepping on the throttle here. And let's see where this ball goes. If this one stays in play, let's see if it does go farther. But this golf ball rewards center strikes, period. If your top end ball speed's 206, 208, it's going to reward you. If your top end speed's 220 and you go 207, no chance. It's going to go significantly slower. He loves this golf ball, 216. This one's flirting down that right side. So if you're tuning in right now, this is the finals in the senior division. Eddie Fernandez is at 367, comfortably in the lead. E.J. McDonald's down to his last ball. But I said, nice to see E.J. McDonald here in the finals. He's a guy that, like I said, in and around, he's always in final eights and just a great dude and, fun to watch him hit as well. But Eddie Fernandez is going to take this down. I'm going to go interview him. 382 yards. Oops. Boys, Edward is looking good at 52 years young. I'm going to go give him this beautiful trophy. And Edward, Michael, Joseph, William, Bartholomew, Ranches, Sanchez, Vicario, Conchita, Martinez, Hernandez, Fernandez. 3 wins out of 4 events, but throwing strikes. I mean, obviously battled a little bit of a stomach ailment last night, but 9 balls. Good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just, you know, you just got to dig deep sometimes. You're not always 100%, but I felt really good in the final 8. Like this morning, I wasn't doing great. I sat in Doc's car for about 40 minutes, got a little AC. You were sitting in there with me, so. Yeah, so I felt a lot better when I got out, and another shot of Imodium, and we're good.
We talked about it's a game within a game, and these heads-up matches for you, you're significantly faster than everybody in this tournament, and it's not even close. What are you thinking first ball?
First ball, I'm just 212 to 215, really, 210 to 215, just get one in, and lucky enough I was able to get either my first or second ball in every single set today, so it takes the pressure off. So and then I got after the 82 ball a little bit. I don't know what was it, 218, 19?
217, and you're off a little bit. It was 211.7 on your first ball, but like you threw a strike and said ball game was over. But congratulations, Eddie Fernandez, 3 for his last 4, and he said definitely the favorite going into the World Championships here in October.
Thanks, buddy. October, huh? You're putting me as a favorite in the Open division. I love it. All right.
Whatever. Hey, listen, I got 2 guys that are going to be mad at me today, but Eddie, I mean, honestly, what he's doing right now, you got a chance to win both world titles.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I wouldn't be competing if I didn't think I had a chance, so I feel good. So we'll get back to work, get some work done the next 4 months, and we'll be ready to take it to him. So, ready.
You're champ. We'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Good job, man.
The grid that the Bombers call home.
You're throwing the tee in the ground. If your hand's not shaking, there's something wrong.
I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. I'm in my element. Flow is like water. I'm forced to the fire. I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth. Following God and you grinding.